All right, good morning. It's Saturday, July 2nd, and I am dressed up for a really important day in my life. And you're probably the only person that's going to see this. That's okay. This is made for you, David Bean, because yesterday at my office, look what I got. It was indeed handled with care. Look, everything's in one piece, and that's me, Steve Hayden. And what's inside this is about to make me really, really happy. And I just want to thank you personally for sending this to me. I can't wait to see what's inside. I'm a little bit reluctant to open it up because I don't know, there's just something about this packaging. You've got the really cool Wasted Talent limited edition Judy's tape on the back, packing tape, really nice touch. It's all about the details. And wow, this is a big day for me. I can't wait to see what's inside. Well, I know what's inside because I placed the order, but this is really special. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, connecting with someone who has brought me a lot of good times, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, listening to this music, playing this music, singing this music to my friends, my family, and so this artifact, this real physical thing that went from your hands to my hands, I'm pretty excited to open it up. So let's get going. While I'm reaching for the scissors, you'll notice I've got my Judy's Washerama t-shirt on. Yeah, a friend of mine in Houston, no, not Houston, my buddy Steve Vastonet. You saw him, David, in the little picture I sent to you. He's a Judy's fan as well. I introduced the Judys to him back in 1983. When I was in Newport Beach, California, spending my summers. And he quickly became a fan, and so he's been following the band, well, what there could be to follow for all these years. And back in 2006, 2007, he told me that he found a website, Wasted Talent Records website, and I saw this t-shirt, had to have it. So, early adopter. Okay, let's get into this. I'm going to go ahead and sort of cut open here, packing tape, and sort of slide this back here, cut it across the top, and let's see what's inside. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open up the packaging, and first thing I see, bam, packing slip. No surprises there. Let's see if you've done the math correctly. All right, so we start out with the Judy's Moo album. Well, first it says shipped to Steve Hayden. That's me. I had it send you to my office at work, and because I couldn't wait to get it, I didn't want to fall into any curious but misguided hands at home. So straight to me at the office, and now I've brought it home for unboxing. Woo! Okay, shipped to Steve, got that. Wasted Talent Records. Oh, looks like you've moved. 5223 Poinciana Drive. Hope I'm saying that right. Houston, Texas. Maybe that's where I'm gonna knock on the door when I come to Houston and take you out to lunch. Oh, hey, word about the background. You remember my buddy Steve? I mentioned he plays piano, and anyway, he and his wife painted that for me. It's called Good Vibrations. This is he's an artist of sorts and a graphic designer, really talented couple, and I asked them for a really fun piece, and that's what they gave me. So I'm bringing a little bit of him to you because I know he would love to be here, but he lives in a different state. Okay, let's get down to the SKUs. Description: the Judy's Moo album vinyl. All right, I'm going to be looking for that in my package. David Bean, Moto Music, vinyl EP, cover color pink. Right on. Okay, one quantity, gonna be looking for that one. And then Judy's Wonderful World of Appliances, vinyl EP. One. Boy, let's get into this. Okay, so first album I'm looking for here. Looks like right there on the top. Yep, there it is. It's the Moo album. Boom, boom, boom. Moo, 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 moo. Moo, 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 moo. Moo, 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 moo. Look at this. Pristine condition. There's nothing like shrink wrap. I don't even want to take it off. Don't want to crack the seal. Because you only get to like open something for the first time once, and you just can't buy this stuff anymore. Well, I guess you can buy it nowadays. You go to the website, but this is really cool. I actually bought this album when it first came out. It was the second Judy's album that I owned, and sadly I left it in Houston when I went off to college. I think I translated it to cassette, didn't have a record player with me in my college dorm. And then my parents got divorced, and who knows where the Judy's collection ended up. I have no idea. So it's good to be reunited with Moo. Thank you, David Bean. Cannot wait to spin this album. Thank you. All right, now going down the order here. I'm actually, okay, looks like we're going for David Bean Moto Music. And yes, indeed, bam, there it is. In pink. Now, as I mentioned, I had owned several of the albums. I think I was already in school. Yeah, I was already in college in 1983 when this one came out, and I came back to Houston to visit, and word had spread that you had launched a solo album, and I went down to the record store, bought it. I bought it in the yellow copy, and again, the divorce, who knows what happened to it, but here it is. JWT catalog number 3517. Oh, and there you are. I can't tell you how many times I looked at that picture and I thought, I wonder what David Bean's doing right now. Check him out, Mr. Preppy David Bean. And great songs on this album. I noticed when I played the album for the first time, the production was a little more sophisticated. You introduced a little more instrumentation. But awesome songs. Marsha's Car. Yeah. I sang a couple of these in my band. And I got a confession to make, David. When I first met the Judys in, I don't know, it was the year you opened up for the B-52s. I'd read an article in the Houston Chronicle. Friends of mine from Pearland, Texas had moved to Alief, which was my little town. We were in high school together, and we had listened to your cassette, and then we learned from the newspaper that you were going to open up for the B-52s, which were pretty huge at the time. And as excited as I was to see the B-52s, and I remember the show was okay, I was not prepared for how thrilling it would be to see the Judys play. And I'm trying to remember exactly. I think the show opened up. Bam, curtain comes open, and there are three washers and dryers on stage, and cue music, and then the lids open up. You guys come out. The crowd erupts. You had those cool, classic Judy's Dickies shirts on, the turtlenecks, short sleeve sweater, and you launched into your set, and it was just bam, gripping. I loved it. Couldn't afford great seats back then. I was just a punk, but even from my nosebleeds, the energy, the joy, it's one of the things I loved about the Judys. Every time you guys took the stage, it just seemed like you were happy to be there, and it made me happy to watch. And then what I remember, I think you closed the set, you came out totally a cappella, and maybe even opened the set this way. I'm trying to remember. Please, if I'm getting this wrong, let me know, but you walked out, cowboy hat in hand, and you sang, "Somewhere over the rainbow." And And I thought, man, singer's got pipes, pretty good. Anyway, back to my story. I took a cassette of you with me to Newport Beach, where I spent my summers. Grew up in Houston. My parents were divorced, and my mom and dad were divorced, and then my mom and my stepdad got divorced. It's messed up. But spent my summers in Newport Beach, and one summer I was playing, I think it was maybe Washarama, the album, to my friend Steve, painter. And he's like, wow, I think I can play those songs. So we worked up a little bit of a set list. I think we had Guy in a Punch. I think we had Ride Her Wave, certainly Ride Her Wave, I Project, Breathing. And we would crowd all his little sister's teenage friends into the room and entertain them for hours. And they just were like, wow, that's so fun. And I have a lame confession to make. One particular day, we were at the home of these two sisters, and they were stunning and cute and all that good stuff. And we were playing the tape, and one of the girls said to me, "Is that you?" And in a moment of shameless weakness, I said, "Yeah. That's me. That's my band." I'm an idiot. But anyway, so for, the charade didn't last very long. It wasn't too long before she figured out, wait a second, you don't really sound like that guy. And trust me, there's miles to go before I ever crossed that boundary. But anyway, I got to live the charade for a while. I got to be David Bean, at least in my own head, and in the head of these two really cute girls for a while. And anyway, but your music's brought me a ton of joy. Formed a couple bands when I was in college, and we always included All the Pretty Girls, Ride Her Wave in our set. So when I come to Houston, let's do some accounting, because I feel like I owe you a little mailbox money. Should have been sending a little royalty check perhaps for making my derivative works of your awesome songs. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get together, we're going to have lunch, we're going to have an accounting over the back royalties I owe you for the concerts I played to the masses, probably at least 20, 30 people at a time, and then clown school. Because you sent me Nibbles, and I loved Nibbles the Clown, and joy, total joy. All right, I digress. Let's go into next up on my packing list. We're going to go for Wonderful World of Appliances. Oh, no way! Oh. No way. David Bean. You have no idea. So, I'm going to have to digress from Wonderful World of Appliances for just a moment, because look what I found. Your nice story really made my day, week, year. Here's a small token of appreciation, D. Bean. You have no idea the hours and hours and hours I spun this record as a kid. Oh man, I stared at these pictures for just days and weeks, and not so much that one, because I was like, who are those people? But these, who are these guys, man, and how do they do this? How do they write such a fun, clever, sarcastic, satirical, just amazing songs? And I never thought I'd see this album again. I owned it, and then who knows what happened? It disappeared. The divorce, I guess. But I never thought I'd see this again, because I went to your site to order it, and you click on the link and nothing comes up. I assumed, well, it was probably the most popular album, and it's gone. It's gone forever. And I threw a Hail Mary out there and said, if there's any way, and not expecting. This is really amazing. Thank you so very much. I'm gonna treasure this. Yep. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. There's this guy. I mean, sorry about that. There's a lot going on in my life right now. My wife and I, our oldest child just had his first child, so I'm now a grandfather. On one side of the country, on the other side of the country, my mom is sadly battling cancer. She lives in Florida, and I'm feeling really disconnected from both of those moments and those important people in my life. And anyway, I'm just becoming more and more aware of how important these little things are. The humanity, the little gestures of kindness that matter. I mean, that's especially when doing something nice for somebody creates a connection to powerful memories, and that's what you've done here. I thank you so much. So now I'm thinking it's not only dinner, clown school, and an accounting for unpaid royalties. We're gonna do dinner, and after dinner, seriously, I'm just gonna say, David Bean, whatever you want to do, I'm gonna open the checkbook. We're gonna do it. We're just gonna make a crazy memory, and just to commemorate how awesome you are and thoughtful. So thank you. Now, I'm going to get back to Washarama and the playlist in a second, but let's go to Wonderful World of Appliances. Now, I knew that this album existed because friends had talked about it, and then when I look at the set lists, you've got Radiation Squirm, took my lover to the zoo, so many things to see and do. Love it. Love every song on here. We're on vacation in Tehran. Dogs. Anyway. It's underwater fun. Every song a memory. Yeah. But I never knew that I could get those songs on an album, and here it is. And check you out. Look at you, young David Bean. Look at the youth. Oh. Cool crew cut. Yeah, this is cool. Can't wait to play this. And 45. Ooh. Does my record player have a 45? No, it's got an 11, but I don't know if it's got a 45. We'll have to try it out, I guess. All right. So that takes us back to Washarama, and yeah, in a high society. I love it. Every song, great. So look at that. Oh, here I have a question. Dane Sessick, brilliant drummer. Jeff Walton. How does he do it? How does he get that little bass to pop like he does? You don't get me started on you. But I have a question. You guys would play right down the line, and you'd wheel out the pots and pans. They're hanging on a string, and it didn't dawn on me until I had my own band. I thought, I wonder if they're playing to a backing track for those percussions, because now that I think about it, I can't remember seeing any mics for those pots and pans, and I'm trying to think, how would you... Yeah. So, anyway, no need to bust the myth. But really, I'm just curious. I know the TV was real. TV. Watching my TV on the floor. I'm watching my TV. Love it. LA TV rentals. I watched those commercials. Channel 39. It seems like that's what they would advertise on. I was on Channel 39 as a little kid. I went to a school called Gay's private school. I don't know who Gay was, but the school was pretty awesome. And we had a little French choir when I was in first grade, and I was on the Don Mahoney and Gina Claire variety show. Do you remember that? Were you around in Houston for that? Anyway, that would probably have been late 60s, where we sang Frere Jacques and the likes. Wow, David Bean, you have, I don't know, this is going to be one of those dividing lines in the chronology of my life. My life before getting my Judy's albums, and my life after getting my Judy's albums, because I'm 51, and these are moments that I don't know were great moments for me. It's not like I need to go back and live in the past, but why not? If you can, just return for a moment, and that's what you have done for me today. Look at that. No end to the listening pleasure that awaits me. Thank you. Bye. See you in Houston.